One of the really nice things that happened this year was that people became really charitable. And thankfully, the CARES Act gave some bonuses to people who had charitable inclinations. Lisa, first and foremost, can people take a better charitable deduction this year as a result?
Under the CARES Act, there were some changes to charitable contributions. So, one of the big changes is if you claim the standard deduction, you may be able to claim up to $300 of cash donations that you made this year. Typically, now, since tax reform occurred, people were only able to deduct their charitable contributions if they claimed itemized deductions, but that has changed. And then another big change for those that itemize. So usually they can contribute up to 60% of their adjusted gross income in cash. Now there is no limit under CARES.
That's really important. Like, we should highlight that, underline it, put it in bold. No limit if you make cash contributions. Like, so there's still time.
Yes, there's still time. And I know, coming up, it's a huge month for donations.
Right. And as long as your donation is dated before 12/31 midnight, you're good. You'll get it in. So please, please, please don't forget to do that before the year is up. Now, the one thing that I saw a lot of were GoFundMe accounts. I know I got asked to donate to a bunch of them. How do I determine if I could deduct that contribution?
There's a few things you should know if you contribute to a GoFundMe account. First of all, in order to deduct your contributions, it has to be to a 501c3 charitable organization that's recognized by the IRS. So, if you're contributing to these funds and they're set up for someone who is not a recognized organization, you wouldn't be able to deduct that. I mean, you're still doing a good thing if they really need it, but just know that you can't deduct it. And then on the other end, the person that sets it up. So say they set up one because they need to raise money, to build their business. They would most likely have to recognize that income. It's not for something, for like a medical bill or something like that.
Oh, that's interesting. So people should be aware. Like, I was asked to donate to a GoFundMe to help some of the workers as that were affected by the Napa Valley fires. That's entirely different than setting up a GoFundMe to say, hey, my business is going to close and you love my restaurant, donate some money. Two different things.
Yes, yes, there's two different things.
The other thing that was big this year were political donations. And I'm sure people are wondering if, regardless of who they donated to, they can now deduct their generosity.
One thing people need to know, and we've seen this question a lot because of, the elections were this year, you cannot deduct your political contributions.
That's probably a big bummer for a lot of people. And finally, before I let you go, casualty losses, because we had a bunch of horrible natural disasters this year. What do people need to know about casualty losses?
What you need to know is if it's a federally declared natural disaster, then you can claim a casualty loss on your taxes if you itemize your deductions. But it does have to be a federally declared natural disaster in order for you to deduct it.
So it's really important for people to check TurboTax, check the IRS's site for updates, of course, and to determine if sadly their disaster was declared by the federal government. Otherwise, right, then their expenses are theirs.
You should, if you experience a nationally declared disaster, you should deduct whatever has not been reimbursed by your insurance. Or even if you're waiting on your insurance, you can claim the deductions. And then if you get any of the money back that you claimed, you can reverse that as well on your taxes.
And I know too that you guys have a great calculator to figure out what's deductible, right?
Yes. So we have, it's TurboTax, it's deductible. It helps you value and track your charitable contributions throughout the year. And then that information transfers directly to your TurboTax return. So, I know people donate all the time. I donate throughout the year, and you have to keep track of those acknowledgement receipts. This way, you can just put it in if there's an app for it or on your computer, and you could just track everything there.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And it's an exercise people should partake in starting January 1 if they haven't already, because you forget and you leave a lot of money on the table as a result. Lisa Green Lewis, CPA, TurboTax expert, thank you so much for helping us figure out these charitable contributions.